Seth Rogen has made some really bad content over the past few years with Santa Inc., Pam and Tommy, and people are criticizing him for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film as well, but now he's decided to complain about how bad critics make him feel when they say something he made isn't that good. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and to the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or supporter via YouTube memberships. So this is a brand new Variety article. Seth Rogen brutally honest about negative reviews. Film critics should know how much it hurts. It fucking sucks. Now, I understand that when you create something and people rag on it, it might hurt you a little bit, but we are talking about people who are, making the worst content possible. If you want film critics to praise your work, you have to put in the work and effort, and Seth Rogen doesn't do that, or at least he hasn't been over the past few years, and now he's saying that critics, whose job it is to be critical of content, are hurting his feelings. It says he got brutally honest about film critics during a discussion about mental health and self-doubt on the Diary of a CEO podcast. The comedian told the host that negative reviews from critics hurt everyone very much. If you can't handle criticism, you shouldn't be in this line of work. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. It's as simple as that. I think if most critics knew how much it hurts the people that made the things they are willing to write about, they would second guess the way they write these things. It's devastating. I know people who have never recovered from it honestly. A year, decades of being hurt by film reviews. It's very personal. It is devastating when you are being institutionally told that your personal expression was bad, and that's something that people carry with them literally their entire lives, and I get why. It fucking sucks. Now, I totally get that, yeah, you might get a bad review. It might upset you a little bit, but this is their job. You can't just release content and expect everyone to love it and for no one to say something negative about it. This is their job. It is just as simple as that. This proves how out of touch he is with reality. There are people who would love to be able to write and direct and produce content, and they would be totally fine with criticism, but not Seth Rogen, because he's saying that, this is unfair, that his work shouldn't be judged and no one's work should be judged because it's too personal. There are plenty of people out there who are happy to be criticized if it meant being in the position that he's in. But it says that it was brought up about the 2011 superhero comedy, The Green Hornet, which starred Rogen as the hero opposite of Cameron Diaz. Roger Ebert gave it a 1 star and called it an almost unendurable demonstration of a movie with nothing to be about, while the Guardian's pan said that almost everything about the film is disappointing, and it said that people hated it, they were taking joy in disliking it a lot, but it opened to like $35 million, which was the biggest opening weekend I'd ever been associated with at that point. It did pretty well. That's what is nice sometimes. You can grasp for some sense of success at times. He said that the reviews for Green Hornet were coming out and they were pretty bad, but he said it was more painful to endure the negative reviews for his infamous 2014 comedy, The Interview, because people were taking joy in talking shit about it and questioning the types of people that would want to make a movie like that. I personally like The Interview. It's one of the only recent things that Seth Rogen has done or made, because unfortunately lately all of his projects are bad. I'm sorry, Seth, if I'm hurting your feelings by saying that. that, but it's just the truth. I mean, look at something like Santa Inc. Okay, there weren't even enough critic reviews because critics refused to talk about it since there was so much backlash, and the audience score is a 4%. You can't get much worse than that. I mean, people absolutely despised this series that released at the very end of 2021. Obviously, this is filled with half stars and 1 stars from people just saying things like, there are things you can do to make a good laugh out of something, but this show doesn't have that. It seems more concerned with being offensive and divisive than being funny. People saying things like, it's unwatchable for anyone who is offended by raunchy jokes being forced into dialogue inappropriately and without relevance. Others are saying another unfunny racist piece of dreck crapped out by the most privileged people to ever exist in the history of humanity. And now he's got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to deal with because there has been a lot of backlash to this, and he is a producer on this project. Of course, people are upset with them race-swapping April and just kind of the general direction that they went in, and he is, in for much more criticism. Heading back to the original article, he said that he used to deal with negative reviews by treating himself to a nice dinner or heading out to his beach house. He added, any opening weekend, it sucks. It's stressful. It's like birth. It's an inherently painful process. I would love to be able to go to my personal beach house or go out to a nice steakhouse when somebody says something mean about me, whether it's a critic or someone on social media. He is completely out of touch with real life. I wish that if I got a negative review, I could just go to my beach house, but that's not what normal people do. Again, people would love to be in your position. There's another funny thing about making movies. Life goes on. You can be making another film as your current film is bombing, which is a funny thing. It's bittersweet. Things will be okay. You're already working. If the fear is the movie bombs and you won't get hired again, well, you don't have to worry about it, but it's an emotional conundrum at times. But that is only true for him because he's known in the industry and there are a lot of people that do like his work. But for average individuals, if you fail once at making a movie, whether it costs hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, you're out. You are not going to be able to make another. He also most recently earned glowing rewards for The Fabelmans, which is an Oscar nominated for the Best Picture, and of course he is going to be voicing Donkey Kong in the Super Mario Brothers movie and Bebop in Mutant Mayhem. So he's got a lot going on. I don't know why he's whining and complaining, but yeah, I know that a lot of people online are pretty upset over this interview, and I am as well. I mean, come on, stop being a sensitive snowflake, Seth Rogen. You are lucky to be able to get all of the movies that you do, and instead of just appreciating the opportunities that he has, no, he's just whining about how much it hurts if film critics don't like his content. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.